The holidays have always been special here. Snow during Christmas, the coordinated costumes on Halloween, the whole family gathering around the Thanksgiving table. Every year is totally different, but the one thing that always stayed a constant was our holiday food. Every Christmas, my grandma would make her Greek recipes. She would bring so much baklava, she would make my favorite spanakopita, or she would make my mom's favorite melo macarona, or as they are called in my house, football cookies, because look at the shape of them. But since my celiac diagnosis and since my mom's Hashimoto's diagnosis, we have had to change our diets drastically. And now every single one of me and my mom's favorite holiday foods is completely off limits. So having been gluten-free for almost 5 years, I know how isolating it can feel when you aren't able to eat a meal with everyone else, especially around the holidays. So with this being the first holiday season since my mom's diagnosis and since both of our diet changes, I decided, against all odds, because I am really not that great in the kitchen, that I would try to find us some alternatives. Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking in Self-Defense with Nevaeh. This is a segment I like to call Diaries of an Inflamed Chef. I borrowed this chef hat from one of my younger siblings. It's kind of become a running joke on the channel that every time I try to make a recipe, it's a little shaky. And now we're on a new health journey and cooking just got a million times harder. We've never done a paleo diet or an AIP diet, anything like that before, but with the holidays coming up, this has become a real worry because you don't want to be sitting there on Thanksgiving or on Christmas watching everyone else eat all of the festive desserts and the generational recipes of football cookies and baklava and not be able to eat anything. This is gonna be a rough holiday season. So I've decided we are gonna make 3-ingredient, vegan, paleo, gluten-free everything bagels, paleo gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, gluten-free, dairy-free paleo coffee cake muffins, and then finally, the most important recipe out of all of these, a recipe that my entire holiday festive mood is relying on, gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, AIP, paleo, pumpkin pie. I went into the health food section of our grocery store, and this food right here, it's not that many ingredients. It was probably a bag and a half of ingredients. Cost me about $130. I don't know if I was going to a really bad grocery store for buying health food because it wasn't a health food store or anything like that, and it was ridiculously overpriced. I mean, we're not supposed to have any dairy, except they said grass-fed butter in moderation is okay. So I got grass-fed butter. This little block of butter, which was the only grass-fed butter they had, was almost $6. I don't even know if this is enough for our recipes. If it isn't, I'm going to substitute with ghee. I was not buying another block of this. So the first thing I'm gonna make is paleo gluten-free bagels. Again, these are 3 ingredients, so I'm not quite sure how they're gonna turn out. The first thing we're gonna need is 4 cups of gluten-free flour. Oh, I'm already a mess. Then we're gonna want 2 cups of unsweetened non-dairy yogurt. I'm sorry, it doesn't really smell like anything. I'm sure it's probably delicious, but visually, 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And the last thing we're gonna do is a little bit of salt. It's kind of strange. It's a little sticky, but also a little crumbly. I think I just need to smush it a little bit more. It was not cutting it. I've never made bagels before, so I'm not sure what bagel dough is supposed to look like or what to compare it to, but you know what this reminds me of? I swear this is the exact same color and texture as like those big tubs of Crayola air dry clay that you play with as a kid. So now that we've got our dough, we are going to break this into 4 equal parts and we are going to make our bagels. Okay, so we're gonna roll these. Then, that actually looks pretty good. I feel like these autoimmune disease safe bagels need a name. You can call them like Muni bagels because they're made of whole foods. They're the holy grail of autoimmune safe bagels for holy healing. They're a hole-in-one recipe. Okay. These look so good. They look so, ow, ow, ow. I hope they taste okay because on the diet we can't be putting cream cheese, butter, jam, most things. So I hope they're good. They look like bread. Gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free, AIP, paleo bagels.
What are they made out of?
Styrofoam.
No, they look good. Oh boy. They don't taste as good as they look. They look really good. And they taste like... Oh god, this works as you go. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Oh my god. It tastes like how I would imagine a packing peanut. What do you think? Do you want some? No? You want it? No. And then...
You wanna try it?
Gluten-free flour and salt.
It smells horrible.
It tastes even better. So bad.
What is that flavor?
Baking soda.
Oh, it's awful. It's really bad.
It's how, like I told you, it's how
Oh, it's still there. The flavor is awful.
It's like rice flour, almond flour, cassava flour.
So bad. Why'd you make me do that?
That's a fail. I'm sorry, they're really pretty, but
Never do that again. Never do that again.
But presentation is beautiful.
5 stars for that.
5 stars.
So after our recent failures, I decided to try to revamp the recipe roster a little bit. I have been scouring random sites on the internet trying to find some better recipes. All of the sites have been asking me about cookies. And they're all like, we use cookies. To my sugar-deprived self, that sounds delicious. Cookies sound so good. Give them all here. I will accept your cookies. No, not these kinds of cookies. These kinds of cookies are things that people called data brokers use to steal your information and sell it without your consent. But what do they taste like? Identity theft. They taste like cyber criminals, stealing your identity and plastering your information all over people's search sites. Oh. But don't worry, if these people can't find you, they can't hurt you. So I use Incogni. Incogni is the first and only verified personal data removal service. They use their automated process to track down your leaked personal information and get it all removed from multiple different sites. It's not a one and done either. They are constantly going back and catching your information as it reappears. If you have ever used the internet, which clearly you have, your information has been collected and sold. This can lead to criminals buying that information to get access to your banking info, your social security number, your address. Your info is probably being plastered all over people's search sites. If you've never checked for yourself on a people's search site, go Google it. It's absolutely terrifying. It can also lead to things that you would never think about, like the fact that health insurance companies can buy this information, data from your personal health apps and your Google searches, and they can raise your insurance rates, which I just found out about this week, and as someone who's been dealing with insurance drama and has some health struggles, don't love that. They have removed so much of my information this month. And if you find something specific online that you really want removed, they have custom removals. All you do is send a link and your dedicated privacy expert will go do all the work for you. They also offer a 30-day risk-free trial, so if you're not happy after 30 days, no biggie, you get a full refund. So take your personal data back with Incogni. Use coupon code NEVEA at the link below to get 60% off an annual plan. Bet you thought I was retiring my chef hat. I'm not. I should. After the bagel incident of 2025. Welcome back to the newly named Cooking for One, because these recipes will scare off all your friends and family. I'm just kidding. We're gonna find a good one. So today we're gonna make paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free coffee cake muffins. It seems pretty simple. It's just flour, coconut sugar. With my mom's strict version of the diet, she's not doing coconut, so I decided I would get monk fruit sweetener instead. Pumpkin puree, coconut oil, vanilla extract, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, baking powder, and eggs. There is no actual coffee in this recipe, but even so, I've decided to rename these the espressoli safe muffins for muffin butt healin'. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is add all of our dry ingredients. We're gonna start with 2 cups of gluten-free flour, a half teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, oh gosh, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Time to mix all of those together. And now the wet ingredients. 2 eggs. I swear I've never cracked an egg without getting shell in it. 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. Smells like lip gloss. 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree. Just pure pumpkin smells like pumpkin pie. We're gonna do 1/4 cup. It's a little more than 1/4 cup, but it'll work. Now 1/3 cup of coconut sugar. For paleo, coconut sugar and maple sugar are okay, but with the stricter version of the diet that we're doing, we are using monk fruit sweetener, which I've never had before, so I'm curious to see what this tastes like. It's the only time I've ever smelled something and completely tasted it. It smells really good. It was just, my eyes are like watering. It was really strong. Oh, weird. You know those like icebreaker mint things? Like if you have ever had a watermelon icebreaker and it's this weird fruit flavor, but then it's like this crazy cold sensation, that is exactly what this tastes like. Oh no, see, it's literally an icebreaker. That is very bizarre. I'm not totally sure how this is gonna be in a baked good. It's very sweet though. Oh no, no, made like a dust. I inhaled it. The last wet ingredient is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we're gonna mix everything together and combine. Look at hers. And look at ours. I said to use a hand mixer. I don't know if it's the fact that I tried to mix it by hand, but I copied the recipe perfectly. I triple checked. I've never sprinkled batter into a cupcake tin before, so. Whoa. Okay, this is not working. So I tinkered with the recipe a little bit. I had to add some water and I mean, it's still really thick, but it somewhat resembles batter a little more than does dough. So we're gonna go with it. I guess we're just gonna kind of plop these in here. Oh boy. This is another fail. I'm gonna try not to think about the fact that I'm using so many of my very expensive health food aisle ingredients for this. So we're gonna make this work. It's gonna be delicious. I'm starting to feel like there's a reason people don't attempt to make all these recipes. I have an itch. So after 10 minutes of trying to get this batter into the muffin tin, it is time to make the crumble topping. We're gonna need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 cup of gluten-free flour, 1/3 cup of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of softened coconut oil. This is like the texture of applesauce. My batter's too crumbly, my crumble, it's in the name, is too liquidy. I give up on this recipe. Well, now that we've got our stupid little dry muffins in their stupid little container with their sloppy, stupid little not crumble, we're gonna put them in the oven at 350 for 25 minutes. Oh! What happened? They look like some sort of fungus you would find out in the wild. What on earth? I don't feel like the camera's even picking up how yellow these are. Oh no. It feels like an actual block of memory foam. These can't be called espressively safe muffins anymore. I'm pretty sure these could choke a snake. New name, muffin to write home about. Muffin but regret. Muffins. Muffin without hope. I hate to disappoint my mother. I am so sorry.
Did you try it?
Yep.
Why does this one taste like, or smell like stale cereal? Do I have to try it?
Yeah, you have to try it.
Oh my god. It's like biting your paste. Oh, no. Fruity Pebbles with a slight hue of Play-Doh. That's what it's like. It's like when you make Play-Doh food as a child and then you take a bite of it.
Go ahead, it's up. It's where it belongs. That was another fail and another waste of ingredients. Doesn't seem like any of the recipes are really wanting to turn out. I just really want to be able to enjoy food with everybody else, and my mom has never done a restrictive diet like this before. She's gonna be missing all of those things that she's been eating every single holiday season for her whole life. Very restrictive diets can oddly be kind of isolating if you're at a social setting or holidays where everyone's gathered around the food and you can't eat any of it. So since she is my autoimmune buddy, I really wanted to just find some recipes that she could have. I set my mind to it, but I'm just over here cooking up a bunch of digestible disappointments. You know what? I'm not gonna give up until I find a successful, barely tolerable, I'm okay with that, our standards are low now, recipe that mom can enjoy in the holidays. The last recipes may have been fails, but I think I found one that sounds a little more promising. I've decided I'm gonna swap out the flour I was using for this gold medal oat flour. I know that when you swap out gluten-free flours, it drastically changes the consistency, but so far my consistency hasn't been great. I'm going to be making dairy-free, gluten-free paleo chocolate chip cookies, or as I would like to call them, cookies without consequences. So apparently I ran into a little technical difficulty while I was filming this. This whole section has 0 audio. So I'm just gonna have to voice over this whole thing. 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of softened coconut oil, and I am scooping that out like a raccoon discovering peanut butter. Then I cream the two together. You know, I think you can tell a lot about someone by the way they bake. It's so therapeutic. Then a 1/2 cup of coconut sugar, but I am using monk fruit. I don't know how it ends up in my lungs before it even touches the bowl. Yep. There it goes. Then we add 2 eggs. Oh my gosh, half the shell is in the bowl. I don't know, that's probably what I said. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and now we stir. Now add 1 1/4 cups of gluten-free flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and we're stirring. This is where the plot thickens because it's dough. I also added 85% cacao chips because apparently you can have those on paleo, and then we form our cookies. I'm genuinely very hopeful on this recipe, and I'm starving. Been baking all day and I haven't eaten, so I really hope they turn out. We are going to pop these in the oven at 350 for about 12 minutes. These cookies actually looked amazing. They looked like they'd be on the cover of a paleo cookbook. But that was a little sus to me, so it was time to find out if looks were deceiving. I made gluten-free, vegan, paleo, AIP, sugar-free cookies. Normally when you make cookies, they're good. Oh, I just made the biggest mess. Yeah. No. It's on the baby. It's terrible. I need you to understand that on this diet, this is the best you're gonna get right here.
This?
Yep. He likes them. These were unfortunately kind of a flop. My mom did continue to eat all of the cookie crumbles off of the baby though, so clearly they weren't that bad. I'll take it. I'm probably $100 in with ingredients and I've been baking for 3 days straight. After all of my efforts, we've come up with one slightly palatable recipe. The cookies were okay. I don't deserve this. And this is the last recipe that I saved, and it's an important one. Christmas and Thanksgiving are not Christmas and Thanksgiving to me without pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is top 3 all-time favorite desserts. I'm gonna be so upset if I can't have it. In recent years, I would just eat the filling out of the pie and leave the crust because I didn't know I had celiac disease. Now I can't do that. And with mom's diet, she definitely cannot be eating pie. So I tried to find a good gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, paleo, celiac-safe pie recipe. Based off how everything else with that description turned out, I'm not hopeful. I mean, it's honestly really important to me that I find a good dessert, something festive, something familiar for mom and I to eat around the holidays. Just to feel included, just so we can have Thanksgiving dessert with everybody. I'm hopeful. So we're going to be attempting to make a festive pumpkin pie. Or as I'm going to be renaming this, the autoimmune autumn pie. Never even made a pie before, so I'm sure this is gonna turn out lovely. So the first ingredient is 2 cups of almond flour. Again, since I don't have almond flour, I'm trying to sub with oat flour. The only recipe that was somewhat palatable was the one I put oat flour in, so I'm sticking to this. Half teaspoon of baking soda. Now a half teaspoon of cinnamon. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I definitely have the wrong kind of salt for baking. Now we whisk. Then in a smaller bowl, we're gonna whisk together 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, and since we don't have it, I'm gonna be using our monk fruit sugar again. Every one of these recipes calls for almond flour and coconut sugar, so I'm starting to think that there's a reason they use those 2 ingredients. I think next time when I'm cooking paleo, I'll switch sugars, but And then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil. And we're gonna whisk these together. I wonder how long it takes to actually get good at baking. I can cook all right because it's all eyeball in it, but I tend to eyeball when I bake, and baking being much more of a science, it doesn't usually turn out too well for me. Most of the memories I have baking as a kid are with my grandma or my mom, usually around the holidays. But some of my favorite memories in the kitchen is me trying to learn how to roll spanakopita into little triangles and being really bad with phyllo dough. Definitely different not to be able to have any of those recipes anymore or be able to eat any of those snacks. We're gonna have to adapt. I'm really hoping that I can find some more recipes at work just so that we can make some more, you know, traditional treats for the holidays that we can actually eat now. Okay. So I think I managed to put a dough together. It's a little drier than usual. I don't know if maybe I should put a tiny bit more milk in here. Okay, you know what? Put a splash here. Okay, it's feeling a little bit better. I think we definitely added enough milk. This actually looks pretty good. At least it sticks together now. So we're gonna start working on the filling. You're gonna need one 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Remember to make sure it's organic. There we go. Two-thirds of a cup of coconut sugar, or in my case, monk fruit. I'm curious to see how it... Oh, not again. Oh, no. All good. 2 eggs. 2/3 of a cup of coconut cream. I actually have no idea what coconut cream even is. This stuff is really odd. It's like a coconut paste. After I scoop the top out, the inside of this is completely liquid. All right. So far the coconut products, like the coconut yogurt and the coconut cream, has been really odd and not the most appetizing looking. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. The recipe actually calls for arrowroot starch, but this is all we have, so it's gonna work. I got it on my hands. Nope. I don't like the texture of cornstarch. Okay. Now we're gonna add all the spices. We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This actually smells incredibly good. I'm gonna go around and do the little Costco pumpkin pie scalloped edge. Okay, that looks so pretty. I hope it's not another one of those bagel situations where it looks good from the outside and it tastes like... So we're gonna pop this in the oven at 350 for 45 to 55 minutes. This is the last recipe.
You wanna try it? What do you think? It's pretty good. What do you think? It's almost as sweet as you. I mean, it's not terrible. If we just made it like a pudding, it would be semi less depressing than not having pumpkin pie.
So you think if we just take the monk fruit sweetener out, can we chalk the recipe up to a slight win?
Yeah, I think this is the best one yet.
So I'm not totally sure I have yet cracked the code to having a delicious, autoimmune disease safe, AIP, paleo, no sugar, no gluten, no wheat, no dairy, no eggs, no money, delicious recipe for the holidays quite yet. But I was able to make something slightly edible for the holiday season, so I will take a win where I can get it. Journey to heal our bodies is definitely gonna be a shaky one, but I don't know. Something tells me we're gonna figure it out. I mean, not the food I made. Definitely none of that told me that. In fact, I think if you actually tried to consume those bagels I made, you probably are now on your own health journey to heal your body. We are gonna keep trying and adjusting. We are gonna get it. And I'm gonna keep working on that pumpkin pie because it is all we've got. That's the only recipe we've got so far.